Something major has just surfaced in Washington, and it's already stirring intense debate across political circles. The United States Department of Justice has released new documents tied to the long-running investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Hidden inside those files are allegations that mention former U.S. President Donald Trump. But before anyone jumps to conclusions, there's a lot more to this story than what the headlines suggest. These documents don't just raise questions about Trump, they reopen one of the most controversial scandals involving powerful elites in modern history. So what exactly do these files say? Why were they hidden for so long, and could they change anything politically? Let's break it all down. To understand why these documents matter, we have to go back years before this latest development. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier who moved in some of the most powerful social circles in the world. He was known to have connections with politicians, celebrities, billionaires, and influential figures across multiple industries. On the surface, he appeared to be just another wealthy socialite who enjoyed the elite lifestyle. But behind that image, prosecutors later accused him of running a large trafficking network involving underage girls. Victims claimed Epstein used his money, influence, and connections to manipulate situations and avoid serious consequences for years. As the allegations grew, people began asking a dangerous and uncomfortable question: who else was connected to him? That question is exactly why the Epstein case exploded into one of the most talked about scandals of the last 2 decades. In 2019, Epstein was finally arrested on federal trafficking charges. The arrest shocked the world and instantly became global news. Suddenly, investigators were digging through years of records, financial transactions, travel logs, witness statements, and social connections. The investigation started uncovering a web of relationships linking Epstein to powerful individuals across politics, business, and entertainment. But before the case could fully unfold in court, something happened that changed everything. While awaiting trial in federal custody, Epstein died in his jail cell. Officials ruled the death a suicide, but the circumstances surrounding it sparked massive controversy and countless questions. Many people felt the truth behind Epstein's network had died with him. Others believed there were still secrets buried in the investigation that the public had never seen. Since that moment, activists, journalists, and victims have continued demanding transparency. They wanted to know exactly what investigators had uncovered and who might have been involved. Over the years, pressure built on authorities to release documents connected to the investigation. Some records were unsealed through court orders, while others remained hidden due to legal restrictions. Now, years later, the Justice Department has released additional materials connected to the case. These include investigative records and FBI interview notes that were not previously available to the public. Among those documents are statements made by a woman who spoke with investigators during the probe into Epstein's activities. According to the interview notes, the woman claimed she had interactions with several powerful individuals through Epstein's social circle during the 1980s. Among the names mentioned in her statements was Donald Trump. The moment that detail became public, it immediately triggered a wave of headlines and social media reactions. But it's important to understand what these documents actually represent. They record what a witness told investigators during an interview. They are not a court verdict. They are not proof that the events described actually happened. Investigators document allegations during interviews as part of building a broader picture of a case, even when those claims are not independently verified. Donald Trump has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing related to Epstein. In past statements and interviews, Trump said he distanced himself from Epstein years before Epstein's legal troubles became widely known. Supporters of the former president also point out that appearing in investigative documents does not mean someone committed a crime. Epstein was known to socialize with many wealthy and powerful figures during the 1990s and early 2000s, and photographs or mentions in records don't automatically imply involvement in illegal activity. Up to this point, there has been no court ruling proving Trump committed wrongdoing connected to Epstein's crimes. Still, the release of these documents has reignited a much larger debate that has surrounded the Epstein case from the very beginning. Epstein wasn't just another wealthy businessman. He was someone who seemed to have extraordinary access to powerful people. He owned private planes, luxury properties around the world, and hosted gatherings attended by influential figures. Flight logs, social photos, and witness accounts have linked numerous high-profile individuals to his world. Many of those people insist their interactions with Epstein were purely social or professional. Critics, however, believe the public still hasn't seen the complete truth. That's why every new document connected to Epstein instantly grabs attention. The case represents something bigger than one individual. For many observers, it raises questions about how power, wealth, and influence can shape justice. Some people believe Epstein's connections allowed him to avoid consequences for years before his final arrest. Others argue the legal system ultimately did pursue him when enough evidence emerged. Either way, the mystery surrounding his network continues to fuel public curiosity. Each new batch of records adds another piece to the puzzle, but rarely provides a full picture. Witness statements, investigative notes, and legal filings offer fragments of information, but not always clear conclusions. That uncertainty is part of what keeps the Epstein story alive in public conversation. Every time new material is released, people search through it, hoping to find answers about who knew what, who was involved, and whether the full truth has ever been revealed. For now, the newly released documents don't change any legal findings. They simply expand the public record surrounding the investigation. The allegations mentioned in those interview notes remain unproven claims recorded during the investigative process. Still, because the case involves some of the most powerful figures in the world, even small details quickly become major news stories. And that's why the Epstein case continues to cast such a long shadow over politics and public life. It sits at the intersection of power, secrecy, and unanswered questions. Many people believe there are still documents that haven't been fully revealed. Others think the truth may never be completely known. What's clear is that every time new files emerge, the debate reignites and the world once again asks the same question: what really happened behind the scenes of Jeffrey Epstein? The latest document release may not provide final answers, but it reminds everyone that the Epstein story is far from finished. As more information potentially comes to light in the future, the discussion surrounding the case and the powerful names connected to it will likely continue for years to come. Now the real question is what you think about all of this. Do you believe the full truth about Epstein's network will ever be revealed, or do you think some secrets will remain buried forever? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dive breakdowns on major global stories, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Because when it comes to the Epstein case, this story may still have many chapters left to unfold.